Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Gengar Night Talk. We're back with another one. And, man, so I want to dive deep into some pretty far out shit. You're used to it on the channel by now. Um, these two bitches were complaining on Fox News, the Ingram Angle. Oh, we gotta love that shit show. Um, about how birth rates are going down because 30-year-old men are just choosing to drop out of society and, you know, and fuck off pretty much. And, it's all the man's fault at the end of the day. I mean, and this just really kind of disgusts me because they're like, there are tons of women that want to settle down and start a family. And it's like, really? Like, really? Where are they at? Oh, yeah, that's right. They don't exist. Anyway, but, you know, and I came up with a pretty good analogy for this is that I don't think all men just like to fucking hang out, play video games, jack off, and hang out in their mom's basement. Like, I don't think many men live for that, but I feel like we do have a high percentage of men that, put it this way, they've played it's like sitting down and playing a game of poker, okay? And, you lose hand after hand after hand after hand after hand. And you look around, and you're like, why am I always losing every hand, And you find out secretly the game is rigged, and there is no winning. That no matter what you do, there is no winning. And that's coming from every aspect of life. That some of the most basic things that should be guaranteed to you in life, a house, a car, a good wife, a good relationship with someone. Some of the basic things our grandfathers had. And in today's times, that's like you got to jump through like massive, massive hoops to make all of that happen. I mean, like, we're talking keeping a woman long term, virtually impossible. I mean, you can even jump through all the hoops, and keeping a woman long term is virtually impossible. I mean, it just is. The longer you keep one, the more difficult it becomes. Instead of like the opposite of like a chick realizing like, whoa, this person's been with me for 5 years, it's just like they make it harder and harder every year. And it's just, you throw that into it, you throw crazy expectations. You also throw in, the factor of, like, men have played this poker game of life for a long time. We've watched our fathers play it. We've watched our grandfathers play it. We've watched our friends play it and lose every single time. Every single time. We've watched it for years and years and years and years of just 90% of people failing. Take a step back. And I feel like most of us have taken that step back and realized it's totally fucking pointless. And I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but, like, if you go to a casino where everyone just loses all the time, where you're just guaranteed to lose, are you just going to keep playing? Are you going to, like, flip the table over and break shit? Or are you just going to straight walk out and say, I'm not doing this? And that's kind of the point of this video is, saying that even if you're Pokemon investing or working or grinding, it's really fucking pointless. Like, most young men have woken up and they're sick of working for nothing. And, even people my age, 30s, 40s, most of us have woken up and realized it's completely fucking pointless. I mean, even at my level, I've looked at life and I've kind of determined that, like, all the work that I've put in the past 10 years, even though it's got me to the level I've wanted to be at, is I still feel like this world got to rob so much of the best years of my life and my energy away from me. And for nothing. Yeah, for money, I understand. But, like, it has robbed a lot of my energy, a lot of my time, a lot of my brain power. And, it just seems fucking pointless, and there's no other way to put it. And I'm one of the luckier cases, that if I didn't have certain things work out for me and I was still kind of in the just working poor category, I would fucking give up too, man. I would be pissed off and give up too. And I mean, I know a lot of people don't have that choice, but that if I was a middle-aged man with no money, I'd be like, yo, fuck it, just go live with your parents, bro. Do it as long as you can till you die, And that brings another point to another shitty news network. It's like, oh, all the 30-year-old never bloomers out there, like, you're supposed to get a job and have a family and get married. And I'm telling you, it is hilarious seeing the news tell your average man to do that at this point, when your average man has completely woken up to this being total bullshit. That it's like, oh, you just need an average family and get yourself a wife to complain at you and spend all your money. And like, and people don't realize that most average men making 50K or less a year, they can barely afford to support the things they like to do. Get the newest video game here and there. Maybe open up some packs, gamble a little bit, party a little bit, like, they can barely afford to do that, man. They can't afford to add taking care of a crazy woman's demands on top of that. Like, that's why it's just like most men have woken up to life being an unfair poker game where you always get dealt a bad hand, you always lose, and there is no winning. There is no winning the perfect life with your dream woman, your dream house, your dream car, your dream life, I guess you can call it. I feel like as you get older, you start to accept that there's certain things in life that you're just not gonna have, or there are just certain things in life that are not worth having. And I feel like there's a lot of men, we're doing budget cuts. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'll be right back. But like we're doing budget cuts, and we're going through that list, and we're like, well, we got to make some cuts this year. We're not selling our Brilliant Stars booster boxes. We're not selling our house. We're not selling our cars. What's costing us money in this world? $300 hair extensions. $50 nails. $700 fucking wardrobe. Women. By damn, it's women. Unreasonable expectations. Never-ending demands. And you always lose. And when you lose big, my friend. It isn't just anymore. It's not just the fair game of you get with a chick, things didn't work out, and you both just cut ways even. It's not even like that anymore. It's, you know, like you don't even cut ways anymore. It's not even like a, hey, it didn't work out, man. You know, it's like, it didn't work out. Fuck you. I'm telling every girl you're terrible. I'm fucking ruining your life and taking half your shit. Best case scenarios, you cut ways. Like the last chick I was with, I just decided it's not going to work. And we cut ways, and I got lucky doing that. Um, and I mean, I think it was just because she kind of had pity on me that, like, she just felt bad that, like, I literally told her, like, I really just don't want anyone, man. Like, nothing wrong with you. I just really don't want anyone's shit, man. You know? But I love how the news puts it, though. It's just like all men are being bums, and it's just, there's just a double standard, and I think women hide being bums easier. Because there's no one on their cases of like, oh, well, this chick's 30 and she's not doing shit with her life. No, it's, they're staying with their mom or they're staying with their dad and they're just paying for them and they just kind of like stay hidden away from the public, like they just stay hidden and stay in bum status. They don't like go out or expose themselves to the internet very often. Or they get lucky and find some rich dude. And it's like, as men, part of being a man is realizing that there is no one coming to save you, man. And I know that may sound like a cruel reality, And in some cases, every once in a while, there is like a woman that does want to take care of a man, but very, very fucking rarely. And then they're not going to be super hot either. I mean, very fucking rarely. Most men have realized to lower their expectations extremely. I mean, some of the men's expectations, like going for these, like, trashy ass OnlyFans women. I just can't. That are like boring as a stick. I just couldn't even wait. Wouldn't even waste my time. But men have clearly lowered their expectations ridiculously if they want to acquire Tang, and it's just so hideous. But the news blames men like they do for everything for declining birth rates, and it's like, no, I promise you, they are even taking the trash women, and but part of being a man, like I was saying, is realizing that no one is here to save you. You will never find a dream woman that will, look out for you. Hell, it's hard to find a woman that just even cares, and has like a dedication like having a dog, It's just very, very difficult. Let alone to find one that is willing to pull you out of your slumber, support you while working, and let you sleep on the couch and play video games. I mean, it's just not happening. And the faster you realize that as a man, that it's you, man. Like it's just you. There's no woman coming to save you. That the only person that can save you is you. But being aware that you're playing a completely rigged game. Like the job market's rigged as fuck. It's hard for people to find good jobs, especially men. It's hard for men to make a living. I mean, honestly, let's compare my YouTube channel to your average, like, hot chicks channel. I mean, I literally dive deep into society issues, have interesting talks and discussions about society and how things are. My channel has 230, let me say 270 subscribers almost. And I can tell you, my channel has had more effort put into it than some dumb bitch just showing her tits on Facebook, and they have 1 million views, just making brain dead thought videos, like it's completely rigged against men. It really is. And I mean, it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm mad about it. I'm not saying, that it really bothers me, but it's just for the people that need to see this, this is how it is. You're playing a rigged game of poker that you can't win. You can't get ahead in the job market because it's just impossible. All your money gets spent on bills. All of it. If you're making under 100 grand a year, all of it goes to bills. Every last bit of it will. You basically will be working for nothing, and then you add to it to work for a woman that's not even going to be grateful, not even worth it, and then to still be broke. Um, it's just it's not worth it, man. It's a rigged fucking game. And my best advice for men in their 20s is like, I wouldn't say give up, because you obviously are going to need some type of money to survive, you know, but to more or less focus on yourself, and grinding your way up. Because the longer you put this off, the more missed opportunities. Like whenever you don't have 100 grand put away, you would be surprised the amount of opportunities that you didn't even know you had. Houses that come up for sale that are half off, that you just sell for more money, cars that come up for sale that are half off, Pokemon boxes that come up cheap. I mean, just constantly jewelry, cheap jewelry that comes up. Like, just if you don't have some money put away, you are missing out on tons of opportunities. And that, you just don't have if you're broke. And I mean, it makes it a lot harder. So, I mean, as much as I do support everyone dropping out of this society and saying, fuck it, we're done working, we're done doing it all, you know, like I am totally for that. But I'm saying if you really need to survive and you like to eat every day and, do your hobbies, you know, to grind now and try to build your way up and, make the cutbacks in life of like what's worth it to you. Like some people say women are a total necessity. And I mean, don't get me wrong, life's pretty boring without women. I mean, it really is. But it's not a necessity, to be in a relationship and live with one. I mean, you can just get with one here and there and then go back to living your life. There's Asian rug and tugs everywhere, to be fair, if that's the route you want to go. But the point is realizing the marriage game, the having a family, and working 9 to 5 is a rigged poker game. And you do not want to be the player at the table. And you want to avoid being in this situation. Don't get your hopes up for women. Don't get your hopes up for relationships. Just don't. Don't get your hopes up for grinding. It's good to be hopeful, but expect that it's all rigged, and try to teach as many people as you can that it's rigged as fuck. And maybe it creates a movement, of enough people saying fuck this. Because if any time that it could happen, it is now, of just all men just being like, we're fucking done, bro. We're not working anymore. We're not grinding anymore. Like, we're sick of this all being on us and then getting blamed for it. It's just shit, man. It really is. I genuinely feel bad for like all men, like 90% of men out there, man, that aren't douchebags. But anyway, maybe you guys enjoyed this talk, but I hope this video helps the people that do need to see it. I know it isn't a massive Pokemon talk today, but it's just more of a life advice talk, because not only, is life about investing, evolving skies, it is still about like what you do with your life and what you expect to get out of your life, So, just remember that. And, like, don't invest crazy money into women, because you will. It's like building a castle, on the beach. It will eventually get washed away. um, is probably my best advice for people. You know, don't get yourself in a situation where a woman can take your house. You know, just don't. Don't feed the internet women money. Make them work like everyone else. You know, like women need to understand too that there's no one coming to save them. And anymore, whenever I see the internet anymore and Facebook, God, is that getting true? Because most men are not saving them that have a brain that are worth getting with. You know, there's still this, like the mega simps out there that love everything that walks, but still, you know, most women out there are not getting saved, and they're not worth saving. And that's just, most of them aren't, and that's just how it is. I mean, I'm not saying all women, because there are some really real ass women out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been with a few that do roll, but still, most of them are garbage. Like, let's be real. And just the whole dream of a wife, kids, and all that is just kind of garbage. You know, it's just, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. And you have to really ask yourself, do you want to jump through all those hoops? Because it will have you working so hard. And I don't think a lot of men realize this. To be with any woman nowadays, it makes your life 30 times harder at least than what it would be just living alone, going to your fucking shit 9 to 5 job, and coming home. You know, and playing video games and relaxing. I mean, really, that's the breakdown. And you have to decide, you know, do you want life to be 30%, 30 times harder? Or do you want to actually enjoy your freedom? And I won't even say enjoy it, but to at least have freedom. Because getting with the wrong partner can take all of that away very fast. Very fast. It could bankrupt you from tons of opportunities. And you just, as a man, you have to take these things seriously. Like, you can't fuck off and just be like, oh, you know, oh, well, she looks nice. I'm gonna get with her. No consequences. You know, I just want to have fun. You know, that's the kind of thinking that will lose your house. Especially if you have money. You know, if you're a man with money, you have to really fucking actually protect yourself, or you won't have it anymore. Especially in 2025. So that's my best advice for any young men out there that are really trying to build something with their lives. Make sure you're building your life on a solid foundation that can never be taken away from you. Make sure that you're the one, you know, taking advantage of the rigged poker game, and not the rigged poker game taking advantage of you. There are a lot of different ways to go about that, but don't let life fuck you. Fuck life right back. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this late night talk. I hope it helps put in a perspective of things to learn from someone my age. You know, a man in his 30s that has pretty much seen it all. You know, been it all. You know, I've been with all different types of women. I've been with, you know, I've been poor. I've been rich. I've been everywhere. You know, that life could say, I have rich friends, I have poor friends, I have young friends, I have old friends, you know, and I mean, hell, I freaking gamble with a lady that's like 80 years old, man, you know, like I have just all different areas of friends, man, and I just see how this world works extremely well, and I'm telling you, bad women come with an extremely bad price tag. And it can cost you not only money, but your freedom, your house, your, you know, relationship, your social standing, you know. Like a bad woman can make everyone think you're a fucking freak, bro, or like a piece of shit. You know, I mean, you really have to consider all these things and say, do I really want this bullshit? And a lot of men are saying no, I don't. And that's kind of where I'm at. I just don't find it worth it, man. You know, like for the first time in my life, it's been a long time since I've been single, but um, I enjoy it. I really do. I enjoy the peace and the quietness, you know. I enjoy it. And being able to think properly and make the right decisions and not have to worry about someone else's decisions. And it's not as bad as you think, because it isn't like you can't go out and have fun with women. You can still go do that. You just got to be cautious, you know. But you just don't live with them. You don't get dedicated to them, you know. And in my opinion, that's the best strategy, because life is a rigged poker game, and you are being forced to play, and you're along for the ride. And, that's just the truth, you know. Like I said, I hope this video hits the people that need to see it. I hope it helps you guys. But coming from someone my age, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen it all from the boomer generation being delusional. I've seen it all from, Gen Z women being crazy. I've seen it all, man. And I'm here just reporting back to you after the war zone, saying that you are better off single. That if you are single, it's probably God's way of protecting you from having all of your shit just ruined in life. I truly believe that some days. But yeah, it's not a weird choice to just choose to be alone. It's really not. So, just don't think it is, So, sometimes I think, being an incel, honestly, and I'm not saying I'm an incel, but what people would call an incel, sometimes I think a dude desperately chasing pussy is way worse than just a dude that's like, fuck it, bro. Because they're like broke as shit chasing pussy, and it's like your incels are like stacked, just like banging whoever they want, I don't know. That's just my opinion of it. But let me know what you guys think. Is life a rigged poker game? Do you think it's fair? Let me know in the comments. That's all we have for this video. You guys stuck around for this half-hour long chat. You're a real one. And I rock with you guys. We're out.